Breaking news. 24 hours ago, Jordan and I changed the direction of this podcast, and we came up with a whole new title because the Christmas season is upon us. The holidays are here, and we have an important topic that we want to talk to you about, encourage you about, and help you get to know yourself and others about. Jordan, this was actually your idea to bring this up, and I think it's a really...
It was my wife's idea. It was literally like, what should we do? We were going down one idea that you brought to the table, which is still good. We're going to do that in 2025. But I was like, man, this season seems to be getting to a lot of folks, at least in a couple of circles that I run with. And so we decided to pivot, make sure we get this info out because holidays are here, and we know it can be so stressful for so many people.
I think this episode is for everyone, because either A, you feel a lot of stress. You feel a lot of guilt. There's just so many complications that are now coming up during the holiday season, and you're in the thick of it. Or B, you love somebody that is caught up in it and is struggling with it. Maybe you don't take it on so much for different reasons. I think a lot of time as men, we don't maybe feel things as deeply as some of our wives might. I don't want to categorize everybody because I think there's just a lot of great parents out there that take Christmas season really seriously, and it's a good thing. They love their family, they want to make family memories, and they're like, this is an important time, and we want to validate that and never minimize somebody's celebration of the holiday season.
And the big thing is, we as parents don't want to screw it up. We're like, okay, the reality is we only have X number of Christmases with our kids, at this age, and we want to make sure they have a very memorable holiday. And that weight alone that we put on ourselves and society puts on ourselves, that could cause us to drink into the new year.
I think this episode is on the surface. It's about holiday expectations, holiday guilt. But I think it's actually much deeper than that. I don't want to get weird about it or over psychologize. I think this is I think this episode is about understanding the human experience. And I think that's what holiday season brings up. So there actually is a real thing. There was really easy to called holiday guilt. There was really easy to find a lot of articles on it. Guilt around the holidays is described from the internet as refers to the feeling of remorse or unease that people often experience.
Think about this. Let's just look at one holiday one holiday specific in the holidays, right? Let's say Black Friday. I get anxiety when I'm looking at all my friends oh my gosh, I got this deal. Oh my gosh, I got to go shopping. Oh, I snagged this from this website. And I'm like, oh my gosh, should I be spending more money? I'm being guilted into spending when I'm like, no, I need to be saving.
No, this is going to blow your mind. This is going to blow your mind. In a short amount of research, I found 14 ways that the holiday season brings up guilt and stress for us. And we're not going to bore you by by nerding out on this, but I'm going to tell you these 14 things to help you better understand yourself and others. And I think one of the joys and the positive things of this episode is you're not going to feel alone. Oh my gosh, I'm not the only one who feels that.
Right.
I'm not and that'll help you feel better to knowing you're not alone.
Yeah, is there a way for us to get more ease in this holiday so that we're not stressed?
In this episode, it's going to do that, I think. It's going to help people feel oh, I'm not alone. I'm not weird. And there's a way out of this, right? That is, I think, going to be the biggest takeaway from today. So tell us, if you could, I got a story for you about something I found that is really good. But tell us a couple personal stories, if you could, about what is happening in your home or in your neighborhood led your wife to be you and Sean need to do an episode about holiday stress. What's going on?
Well, let's first just look at it from my family's perspective, right? Thankfully, my wife is so good at planning events and making sure the kids are taken care of and extracurricular activities. We're there on time. And so she's out, has a list, it's got to be as long as Santa's list, right? She's checking it twice. She's doing everything she needs to make sure all the teachers have the gifts that they want, that they need. From a kid's perspective, we want to make sure the teachers are taken care of. How about people in the workplace? Am I supposed to give my colleagues gifts that I'm working with? Hey, it would be so great if I got... But then by the time you add it all up, you're talking about $10, $20 gift cards for hundreds of people. And I'm like, I can't spend... And then I have to do it on my own kids, right? So it's so stressful. just from my family's perspective. And
Yeah.
some of the people that we live with in our neighborhood, they're like, hey, do we need to do like a group therapy session? Because it just seems like everybody has this heavy weight. We've got family coming into town. We have to go visit family. The kids are acting crazy. There's caroling going on, and you've got, your daughters and sons in school plays that are themed for the holidays. The church group is putting this together, and your calendar is so full that you're just like, oh my gosh, I've got no time to even think about enjoying it because I'm just go, 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 go. And if I don't go, Sean, I feel like I'm not doing my best. I'm not giving 110%. My kids aren't getting what they deserve. They're not getting the best Christmas that they can have, and I'm failing as a parent. But the problem with that belief is even if I try and succeed, society puts the ceiling even higher. So I'm like, nope, you have to go higher. And you wear yourself down. And it's no wonder in January and February, all of us are breaking out with colds and flus. We're so stressed leading up to the holidays. We're drinking ourselves into oblivion and going into the new year just like, and then you got to start all over again.
My gosh, that was so well said. Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
That was incredible. Or you take what you just said and you flip it. Let me flip it.
Okay, how do we do that?
Oh, no. It's a different sense of pain. It's kind of even like what maybe my wife Danielle and I are in. So now we're getting older.
Right.
And we're both now full-time working parents. And so we're not putting the same attention into the holidays. Or imagine being a single parent. And you're just you don't have the time or the energy, or you have a personal struggle, and then you don't, your schedule is not filled, and you feel, like you said, then you feel guilty about that. Like I'm not providing this magical experience,
right?
Because I'm exhausted all the time, right? I can't.
And then it's sad,
right?
Then, that's
either way.
just...
That's what this episode's about. Yeah. So it's a kind of a personal question based on what you're seeing from your wife and kind of the parents in your community. What would be the number one like guilt or pain point that you're hearing or sensing? What do you think it is? Is it like, because you just kind of like listed a bunch and it was so well said. Can I put you on the spot?
So yeah, let me think about this for a second. I don't want to say too many things for those that are listening, and this is a very magical time, right? There's a lot of stuff to look forward to and believe in. But let's just put, you get done with Thanksgiving, the clock hits December 1.
Yeah.
And there's a thing that people do, right?
Yeah.
You've got little elves on the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
Watching the kids, right?
Yeah.
You got to go get your picture taken with Santa, leading up to
family
the event,
photos,
right?
Christmas cards, holidays. Who's there? Yeah.
I'm putting on Christmas music. And I was listening to, I think it was K-Love, and they've had some great songs on, but they were talking on the radio. They were like, do you know that in the month of December, parents stay up at least, I think it was either 5 or 10 times in the month of December past midnight.
Wow.
Because they feel like they have to do certain things.
Right.
Some parents stay up all night long because of this guilt of having to do.
Yeah.
And so I think that alone is like, am I doing enough? Am I putting enough thought into this activity? Did I make sure we go ice skating?
Right.
And then it's like eating an elephant. You're just like, I can't do this. It's too big.
Eating an elephant.
I use that analogy.
I've never heard that before. It really is good. And then you get this, we're in this day and age of Pinterest. We're in this day and age of family photos, Instagram, matching pajamas.
Did you do the cards where you send out the cards to everybody to let them know Happy New Year from the Donahues?
Gosh.
You got to pick the right photo.
And then here's this. Okay, one of the most interesting websites in the world is called Reddit. Essentially, it's like this big open journal. People can post things, questions, and people can respond. So here's something I found. Here's another huge part of holiday guilt. All right, here's this mother. I'm sorry, she's not even a mom. She's a single woman. Here's what she types. Ready? My mom is already starting with guilting me into celebrating Christmas with her and not seeing my fiance and his family. We thought it best, no matter the outcome, is to spend Christmas together in his country of South Korea. My mom isn't happy about that. She told me that I should only go there to spend Christmas if he's denied, and it's a waste to spend Christmas there if he can come here. See the guilt, the shame, That is a
Yeah.
huge part of many family cultures, the shame and the guilt. I want to spend time with his family, and I love my time in South Korea. It's such an amazing country. She also proceeded to say Koreans aren't Christmas people. Why spend Christmas there if you can celebrate it with your family who actually celebrates it?
They don't have a Rockefeller Center. They don't have a Rockefeller tree, okay? They don't get...
I really don't know what to do. She's already starting with this. And also looking to get my flight ticket soon, since flying there can be pretty expensive. And I worries about her guilt in the future to spend all holidays with her. Is she right? And should I come in? Should I have him come even if he gets accepted in November, or should I celebrate Christmas there no matter what? And then what you'll see is this is the way guilt works. Jordan, people are responding to her. Like this person, Ty Lord, says,
Are they fueling her?
just go with your fiance. First off, guilt tripping is messed up of her, and just probably means she's just lonely. And then here's what she responded to every person. And this is the way guilt works. She responded with this. You ready?
Yep.
She acts like she'll be completely alone for Christmas. She still has my brother and my dad. Hell, even her friends come over for Christmas. She's not going to be alone. I feel like if I even suggest we should go out to dinner before I go to South Korea, or when we come back, it won't be good enough for her. And she'll complain. I shouldn't even look for permission. See, this is the way it works. Like they'll guilt you. They come up with excuses, and it's just they can wear us down, right?
Yeah, and that's hard. Especially it's hard when you're trying to share your feelings on Reddit and you're hearing everybody else's thoughts.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Think about being that mom for a second.
Yep.
Think about you and your kids, anyone listening right now, and you're doing you're doing so much
Right.
to make this holiday season perfect. And then the kids get older. And then they start having their own lives.
Yeah.
And you've done everything for the last 18 plus years.
Yeah.
And now your kid comes to you and be like, hey, we're going to do something different. And you're like, well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
This whole tradition that I've been building for decades is now changing
Right.
because you met someone, and then now for them it's like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
the ship is sinking. This is terrible. And maybe that's one of the reasons why we have the holidays and not a holiday.
Yes.
You're right. It's like, hey, I'll give you
Yes.
Thanksgiving, but you give me Christmas, and then I give them New Year's.
Here's another Reddit, just a quick little sentences. When I was a younger man, I was very foolish. And I would have probably thought that the mom typing this had problems. But the mom typing this does not have problems. Here's what she types. She says, our new little one will be just shy of 2 months. And I have nothing for her. I haven't even gotten her a stocking. Or for myself, or my husband's stocking, or a husband's Christmas gift. I had a breakdown in the bathroom. It's 11 p.m. And I just got her off to sleep. And I feel awful. I haven't been going to any stores. I've been doing any grocery pickup. I haven't even gone anywhere to get anything. I feel like a failure. It's her first Christmas, which is supposed to be special, and I feel just so effing awful. That's intense.
That's sad.
That's intense.
That's really hard. And it's understandable.
It's
A lot of people
It
listening
is.
just be like,
That's-
that is totally understandable.
That's understandable.
And I'm sorry you feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. I mean, you watch any Christmas movie, and you're never going to be as good as they are in the movies, right? So you're already thinking you're a failure in that aspect.
This is why I said this episode on the surface is about Christmas and holiday guilt. It's not. This is about understanding the human mind and the spirit and expectations that are important to people, even though they may not be important to you. So can I go through this long list of 14 holiday guilts? And I want you to listen to this, and I want you to smile and have your heart warmed so you know you're not alone. Are you ready for this? I'll just go one at a time, and I'll let you ask me questions or go any deeper. Okay. First off, I found a great list through the internet. One of my favorite sites that I found was on justassimplehome.com. So if you really want to go deeper on this, check out this website. First is financial guilt, man. Financial guilt.
Well, that's a big one for a lot of us, for sure.
Why do you think it's so big or so hard?
Well, I mean, because it's hard to buy anything right now, right? And so how do I buy a gift when gifts are $100 a pop, right, or more? Yeah. And I remember when I was young, we would put a limit on it. We'd be like, okay, we're going to do Christmas this year. We're all going to pick a person. So what we would do is we'd get a hat and we'd all grab, and that was the person we were going to buy a gift for. So there's not a million gifts running around. It's just like, I'm buying for you, you're buying for John, John's buying for Amy. And we would put a max on it. And at that time, it was like $50. And now you're going to have to figure out what that max is for you. But you have to remember that it's not about the gifts.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not
But
about
isn't
the
that
gifts.
so
I
like
know.
we got to get the best gift. What do they really
Right.
want? What are they not expecting?
Right.
But in reality, it's like, no, it's about, like, for me, it's like, get them a gift to do something together.
An
That's-
adventure. Yeah,
an
something off
adventure,
a
like-
screen. I think many of us, they feel guilty because you have a spending habit. You're overspending outside your means. You're seeing that credit card, bill go up.
Oh my gosh,
Or you maybe
it's
feel
so
guilty
crazy.
because, finances are hard and you feel guilty because you can't buy all those things. Or maybe you feel guilty because, your kids really want screens and you're like, I am going to buy them screens, and you feel guilty, or I'm not going to buy them screens. How about this one? Number 2, commitment guilt. This person in the blog, she writes, I feel like most moms have commitment guilt most of the year. But when the holidays roll around, the need to help out at every single event grows 1,000 times over. All the Christmas parties need to be attended. The kids have 1,000 events at school. They need parent volunteers. They need to take little ones to see them all, see Santa, all the Christmas gifts, all the other mom is doing with their kids, and the commitments just keep piling on top of that. Your normal mom duties don't even magically go away this time of year.
Right? So, like, there's a couple families that I know, like, their thing for Christmas is this. It's like, we're going to do the Santa party or whatever it is. And the Santa's going to come over and everyone does it at their house. And then this person's known for, we do the dice party. Like, we play dice this year. Like, this is what we do.
Ooh, I like
right?
dice.
And then imagine a new family coming in and doing the same thing. But you just stepped on my turf, right? So it's just like, it's crazy how a thing can define someone, or they think it can define you, and the reality is that's not what it's here for. It's just to get us together. That's all that we're trying to do.
It's a beautiful holiday to celebrate our sacred spirituality, celebrate God, or celebrate family, or celebrate gift giving. Number 3 on my list of 14 is the biggest challenge for my wife and I. But we don't really we don't struggle with it as much anymore because we've been parenting for almost 20 years now. Extended family guilt.
Meaning you feel like you should see more of them and spend more time with them?
Yeah, and what they say, why are you coming here? Why are you going there?
Oh, I hate that.
You spend too much time here. What about us?
You spent too much. They've said that. You spent too much time here?
These are paraphrases, but I mean,
I know, but
especially when
golly.
we have a lot of divorce with our, so that's, you have even more people to
pick.
see,
You gotta
right?
pick, right? It's like,
And
which
then
one are you gonna pick?
also you've got family estrangement issues in there, and like, I'm not going to see them if they're going, and like, what about this? And if you have like younger kids and you're in your first 5 years, just keep up the hard work and just have faith that you can get better at setting boundaries with family members, and hopefully they'll start honoring your boundaries more. Extended
That's
family
good.
guilt. Have you had to struggle with that much?
Oh, yeah. I mean, sure. I think for us, it's tough because, my family is the first family to ever live east of the Mississippi, right? My whole family is from the West.
Yeah.
So us being out here, we have the guilt of having to go west, right? And so that can add up. You're not going to drive multi-state, with a bunch of new kids. It makes it really, really difficult. And so we have to fly, and it can get very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So we can only do so much.
Right.
And that's what you just have to be like, listen, I can only do so much, and I'll do as much as I can. You're more than welcome to come out here as often as you'd like.
Yeah.
But I can only do so much.
Here's number 4 is another thing I found off that great blog, justassimplehome.com. She calls it spiritual guilt, and she describes it this way. If you look on Pinterest, there are a million different advent calendars, crafts, Bible readings, and ideas to help remember the true reason for Christmas. These are great ideas, and there's nothing wrong with them. They just tend to make moms feel like they aren't doing enough. Like we fall in this mentality of all of it exists. It means that someone is out there doing all of it, and we aren't, and we're failing. And I think that's got to be a factor for some people. Like, I want to have my kids have some great presents around the tree, but I want to be a good leader. I want to help them understand the deeper meaning of Christmas. That's the real thing. Yeah.
And what do you do to make it enough? Right?
Yeah,
It's
what
like,
do you
well,
do?
I pray at the table.
Yeah.
Do I need to sit down and have a Bible study with my family?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the
All
answer
right.
to
Yeah.
that.
What do you go to church for 6 hours
Right?
this day, and then a Christmas
pop
Eve?
quiz. Quiz. Quick.
Yeah.
When's Jesus' birthday? All right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
So
that's tough.
In your family, you guys went big, and last year you actually traveled in a plane to Scandinavia, to Christmas Village. So I think number 5 is something that you guys might struggle with. It's called
Impulse.
Making Christmas Magical Guilt. So instead of
totally,
me reading
man.
the definition, just tell us what it is, because I think
dude,
you have it. Or
it's
your
not even.
Yeah.
You could take the word Christmas and put anything, right? Make birthday magical guilt.
Yeah.
Make Halloween magical guilt.
Good.
Make your summer vacation magical.
Oh, that's
guilt.
me. I have that.
Okay?
I have that.
It's anything, right?
Yeah.
So just pick whatever it is. I definitely have it. My wife has it. I don't think that's a bad thing, but you have to have limits, or else you won't have any money left, right? You won't have any, energy left because you'll just be wanting to chase.
Well said, dude. Okay, now we've talked a lot about guilt, but number 6 might be the number one thing that actually people deal with. It's a very sensitive topic. It's not a laughing matter. Overeating guilt.
Well, that's why we have New Year's resolutions.
Yes, don't laugh about this. Right,
It's
like
so
that's
true,
a
though.
that's a thing. Like, I mean, I know I'm
Dude.
very sensitive about food and my weight and what I eat,
Yeah.
and it's a
Yeah.
huge issue. Like, we feel
know.
guilty around the holidays by eating so much or
So
lack.
do you ever give yourself a pass? Like, well, listen, it's the holidays. It's fine.
Oh,
and-
all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then, does that alleviate the guilt? If you can make
No,
an
it
agreement
actually
with
creates guilt.
yourself,
It creates guilt,
does.
yeah.
Okay, you can't be like, hey, listen, I know, Jordan, this is going to be just for this month. It's all good. Go to town,
Yeah.
and then we're going to work. Okay, next month we're going to work.
then you go-
but enjoy it now.
No,
you don't have that.
I know I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, I just go to town one day on this, or I'll go to town on that, and then all that night I'll be like, what have I done?
Don't get on the scale, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get on the scale.
Let's move on.
Don't.
Number 7 is something that we've alluded to, but it is a thing. It's a very serious thing. Excessive spending guilt or excessive spoiling guilt.
Yeah, mine's the spoiling part. I would be fine with one present.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
I have
because
a man.
I just feel like it turns into junk.
I have a man who's in my membership. He's a very high-powered attorney, a great dad, but he's actually asked me to keep him accountable. He said, Sean,
Oh.
I want you to check in with me, and I want you to ask me, because I offer this. This is partly how I help people in the membership. I'll check in with them on whatever topic they want me to. He says, I want you to check in with me and ask me, have I been spoiling my kids? Because I have a habit. I have a pattern. I need it to stop. I will buy my kids something even when they haven't asked it. I'll buy them a new bat when they already have 3 bats, baseball bat. And then I'll feel guilty about it. And I see how it's actually negatively impacting my kids' relationship with me and with items. And I'm creating a monster here. That's like a paraphrase.
Well, I think for anybody who can really think long term, think logical, and you were to look at the stats.
Yeah.
The question I would ask is there any child out there that's been spoiled that's the best kid, an angel,
know.
so polite,
I know.
just is saying thank you to everything?
They probably do exist. They probably do. But it's really rare.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
If there's a kid out there that gets everything they ask for, I can't imagine that they're going to be the angels that are appreciative for
Yeah.
everything. They're going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what you got me. Why not this? Why not more?
Yeah.
What's the character from Charlie and the Child?
Oh,
Charlie
Veruca
Factory?
Salt?
Veruca Salt.
Yeah.
Right? I want
Yeah.
the golden egg, Daddy. Give it to me now.
Okay. Before we get to some action items on what you can do to thrive with the emotions and the guilt of parenting, I got a few more. Now, this next one is called parenting guilt, and let me tell you something sad. I told you on last year's Christmas episode about my business gets a lot of calls, and we get a lot of people purchasing things on Christmas Day. And,
On Christmas Day.
yeah, I get a lot of calls, and I get a lot of people. I need help. I get a lot of people purchase my book, A Parent's Guide to Breaking Screen Addiction, on Christmas Day. What do you think about that?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that kind of interesting?
It makes sense.
Or doesn't it make
totally
sense?
makes sense because
And
they
so-
are like, what just happened?
So number 8 guilt is what we're going to call just parenting guilt, where you look at your kids and you're like, my kids are not doing well, and what's going on? Like, how did I get here? How I'm really screwing my kids up, or I can't change my kid, and they reach out for professional help on Christmas Day. Isn't that interesting?
That's very interesting. And gosh, that should be such a magical day, right?
I know. I feel sad every time somebody purchases that book on Christmas Day. I feel sad. Like, what is going on in that home right now? It's like 4 p.m, and someone's buying an ebook on screen addiction, you know?
Yeah. My son just came up to me last night. What did he say? He said, Dad, you know what gosh, what's the term he used? It was like, do you know what my biggest challenge is? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to know what's your biggest challenge? My biggest challenge is having to wait for my dad to come home from work on Christmas Day so I can open my gifts.
Dude, your son.
Because I work on Christmas morning, and sometimes I don't get home till like 11, 12, midday. And I'm like, dude, you guys have to stare at those presents all morning.
What a sweet
and they
kid.
hate it.
Oh, what a sweet thing to say that. What a cool thing. I don't know. I like that he opened up. He just loves that boy. He loves Christmas and he loves his gifts.
This year, I'm trying to, I'm like, listen, maybe we can do one. I'm like, or I can wake your behind up at 3:30 in the morning, and we can open gifts at 3:30.
No
in the morning.
way. Nobody wants to.
They're
going to
be up at 4:30 anyway. But you know how excited kids are. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get
That's
gifts.
the thing. Like, I mean, it's great having teenagers, but my 8-year-old, I mean, she's in prime time Christmas age right now.
Yeah.
She's opened up the advent calendar that Mima sent, and we're doing something so sweet. Here's it is a creative idea. My stepmom, Donohue, sent a really nice advent calendar to my 8-year-old because my 8-year-old asked, "Can you please send me an advent calendar this year?" So she went on Amazon. She went like advent calendars for girls, and every day it's like this awesome little bracelet or little toy for 8-year-olds,
Yeah.
And we're opening up every morning and we're taking a picture of my 8-year-old holding the little toy and we're sending it to her every day. So it's like a little advent for her.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that sweet?
So sweet. I'm glad she actually voiced
No,
that
she actually
wanted that.
wants to do it. I said, Kenzie, this is like the nicest thing anyone can ever do for a grandparent. Sending them pictures. I'm thinking about you every day. How sweet is that?
That's amazing.
So
Very
let's
sweet.
turn the tune for a couple more, and let's go through these really briefly. Because they're kind of hard to talk about. Number 9, guilt. Missing loved ones. The grief or sadness from the absence of a deceased family member or an estranged family members during the holiday.
It can be hard for you to celebrate with the family that's still around because all you're feeling is like, why is my other family not here? Or why is my spouse not here? Why are my kids not with me? And then you get angry. You get angry at the holiday. You get angry at the creator. You get angry at Santa. You get angry at everything.
I'm going to be a little angry at my sister because I'm not trying to be funny this Christmas because my mother is going to be all alone on Christmas because she lives 2 states away. And we did not invite her to come here. And my other sister did not invite her to come in Missouri. And then my other sister lives 2 hours away, but they're estranged.
Right.
And so I'm going to feel that sadness for my mother on Christmas Day. And I'm going to struggle with feeling a little resentment or anger to my sister because she's only 2 hours away. Like, have mom over or just give her a call. On Christmas Day, have her over for a tea. Meet up for an hour. You know what I mean? On Christmas Day, her birthday's the next day, and she's not even going to see her. And so this is everyday like reality,
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it. And then, you're mad at your sister, and then you got to look back and be like, well, shoot, should I have invited her here? But then there's all that, we can't do it because of this. And then you just get angry.
Yeah. I'm just going to go through these next ones really fast. Is that okay? Okay, number 10 is something we've alluded to, is social comparison guilt. Number 11 is work stress. Feeling obligated to work during the holidays or needing to work during the holidays and just feeling like you're not fully present with your family. Number 12, family photo guilt. Just feeling like I didn't capture these memories.
Yeah.
Number 13 is Christmas decor guilt.
I was just talking to someone about that. Yep.
And number 14 is just struggles for finding that perfect present for that one person guilt.
Yeah.
Right?
That was hard. That's been hard for me for a long time too. I'm not a good gift giver.
Oh,
you know what I'm
really?
saying? Like I've had to train myself to do that.
Yeah.
That's hard. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like I Google it. What could I get for? And then all the cheesy stuff comes up. I'm like, how do you become a real thoughtful person? Then my wife will be like, oh, I got this person this because they said this one time. And I'm like, how the heck did you remember that? Golly,
Yeah.
that's what. We got to keep our ears open. I love a good gift giver.
Yeah.
It just shows you how much
I know.
people think about you.
I know, right?
And I am not that person. I can't even remember birthdays.
I have a lot of things I'm working on, but in my old age here, coming up on 50, well, I'm 46, I'm not boasting. I'm just grateful. I think one of the ways I've grown and matured as a man in the last year is I've become much more generous, and I'm getting better at giving gifts to people. I can
Nice.
feel it. I'm like,
Good.
I just think about people a lot more, and I'm like giving little gifts here, a little there, and like it just feels so good. Like I went to the UPS store because we go there a lot, and we were sitting around the Thanksgiving table, man, and my whole family was talking about how much we love going to our local UPS store, El Dorado Hills. And how kind they are, how like respectful. They're cheerful.
When you find a good one,
yeah.
you're like, I want to go.
They don't make us feel guilty for like returning things. They're all like these beautiful people with tons of tattoos, and they're young and they're so cool. And so I was at Starbucks and I bought like 5 or 6 $10 gift cards at Starbucks. And I was like, I'm going in there today with like 50,000 returns. And I'm like, look, I just want to let you guys know my family loves coming here. We love you guys. Thank you for everything you do. And I just gave them all $10 gift cards,
That's very cool.
It was the greatest gift was for me. I don't know if, I get the gift of giving.
Yes, that's the thing is sometimes I'll like offer to pay for dinner for someone. I'm like, no. And I'm like, no, you're not going to steal my joy for wanting to pay for you.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay.
Steal my joy.
Good job, man.
All right, now this is, we're going to get deep here. Here's 5 action steps of what we could do. And they're not easy. Are you ready? This is where it gets hard work. And we're going to need your help because you have a great way of phrasing some of these things. Okay. How to manage holiday guilt. Number 1.
Do more.
Set.
Sorry.
Dude, doing a podcast is so nuts, dude. It's just like, I feel like it's me and you. No one's here. No one can laugh at your jokes or our jokes. It's so lonely sometimes, but like, we're not alone. Like, I got our Spotify wrapped for our podcast. I think we're in 183 countries now. Like, this is
sweet.
nuts. That's a lot of countries, man.
That's a lot of countries.
Dude.
I don't know why they're listening to us.
Sometimes I feel like no one's listening to us because no one's here.
Right.
I don't have a live studio audience, but people really are listening. Okay. Dude, you crack me up. Dude, I just love you, man.
I love you too.
I love
Happy
that
holidays.
we do this like once a week. Just
fun.
bro out. Okay.
It's so fun.
All right.
All right, focus.
I can't set realistic
All right, let's get
expectations.
serious.
All right, talk to me. How do we do this? Set realistic
what do I
expectations.
do?
Avoid perfectionism. Be kind to yourself. The holiday season often comes with societal pressures that create perfect celebration. Celebrate the idea that everything doesn't need to be flawless. Focus on what truly matters, whether it's spending time with family, enjoying peaceful moments, relaxing. Be kind to yourself. Recognize it's okay to not do everything, to be everything. Lowering your expectations. Reduce your stress. What do you think about that?
I like it. It's like in order for us to not be stressed, we have to slow down. Start a fire in your little fireplace and just sit there and watch it for a second and put on a Christmas record or an 8-track tape.
Hey, have you ever tried YouTube? Typing into YouTube like holiday jazz or winter jazz?
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course.
Dude, that's some
beautiful.
nice they have
I love it.
Dude, it's such a vibe. You can put
Keep the TV off.
You could put like a mountain.
that
It's like a mountain scene or a Manhattan
Yeah,
scene. They have
just
great
leave
jazz.
Put on a candle,
Yeah.
Let the house smell like cinnamon for a second.
Ooh,
and you'll like really get in the vibe and like just calm down.
Yeah.
I think us comparing to everybody else, which you do naturally when you're on social media and you're watching certain shows, like we have to turn that off. Go for a walk. We took your advice, over Thanksgiving, and I had to leave. Actually, I was on a work trip. They're like, Jordan, we need you to fly up to the Northeast. We're getting big lake effect snow. And I'm like, I got to leave on Thanksgiving. What? Okay. So I had to do a kind of a makeshift family dinner, and we ate early, but we all grabbed each other's hands. My kids are like, what are we doing? I'm like, listen, we're going to grab each other's hands. You listen to me right now. And we all just said what we were thankful for. And it was really cool hearing some of the stuff that came out of each other's mouths. You know?
That's beautiful.
We didn't need anything else other than just to hear that. It's kind of cool.
That's
So I don't know how to do some of the stuff that you just gave us advice on, but I think what I just said is one way.
It is. You know what it is? When it talk about setting realistic expectations, what you're actually doing is telling us to change our minds and to control our thought patterns and manage our thoughts, and do not let these nasty, unhealthy thoughts, create these expectations, which are then going to create chaos. Here's number 2. Create a budget and stick to it. Right? That's it.
Okay, hold on a second. You just lost all of us. Create a budget, okay. But then to stick to it,
I know.
I don't know how to do that. I do, but my family does it. Stick to it, okay.
Yeah, we still do. My wife and I have an arrangement where, like, and it changes throughout the years depending on our budget. It's like, hey, anything over $50, we have to check with each other about, or anything over $20, or it's like about. I'm just telling you what the experts say. How to manage holiday stress is stick to a budget, and
I like it.
Easier said
what
than
I'm
done.
going to do, it's easier said. I'm going to look at the budget after this year, and then I'm going to make a plan in January and say, okay, let's cut it by 10% next year.
Cutbacks.
We'll cut back.
Or increase
some
it.
of the stuff we buy is not needed. Come on.
Or increase it.
If it matters. If it makes
matters,
sense.
yeah. If it makes
If
sense,
it's
yeah.
meaningful.
Yeah.
Okay? If it's something that
Yeah.
you're like, listen, I've been thinking a lot,
Yep.
long and hard about this. Okay. But it's no, I just bought it because it was at the checkout. Like, no. Don't need to do that.
All right. Let's talk about number 3. And I'm going to give you a couple of things, images in your mind. Number 3 says, learn to say no gracefully. Now, imagine that you are a dad and you really enjoy drinking, and your family members don't have you enjoy drinking so much, and they've been trying to tell you. Or imagine that you're a mom and you really want to sign up for this school event. You want to sign up for this cookie drive. You want to go here. You want to go there. Or imagine you're a kid is just really pressing you to buy this latest screen. Or imagine you have an in-law that says, I really need you to do X, Y, and Z. Or imagine you really want to eat this. Imagine, right? This is everyday life for all of us. So what it means to say no gracefully means you growing in how you set boundaries. The holidays are often filled with an overload of social obligations. You don't have to attend every event or say yes to every invitation. Politely decline events or activities that would overwhelm you or can help you preserve your energy. Prioritize your well-being. Or if you go to a situation where you feel like you might drink too much, maybe leave early or have a plan. Like, it's like protect yourself from yourself.
Yeah, there's times, too, when we get asked to do so much and we say yes to everything, we drift from, again, the thing that matters most. Sometimes your family can be so out of touch because you're in so many parties, you're hanging out with so many neighbors, the kids are running around, that you don't really get a chance to just, be with your family or the ones that you love because you're always hanging out with neighbors or other friends. And so I think you're right. It's hard, though, because we all have FOMO. We don't want to miss out.
We do. It's so true. Yeah.
So maybe just kind of think about what's where you really want to be.
Yeah.
And where it's, it could happen or not.
When these emotions hit me on Christmas Day about these family dynamics that I've mentioned with you, estrangement, family members, I'm going to be practicing number 4. Number 4 reads, practice self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Focus on the present. And just realize, nothing's perfect, and that's okay. What do you think about that?
That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's simple.
You know what? It actually can be easy. Sometimes
Yeah.
we say that a lot. Easier said than done, but it actually could be easy.
This one could be easy.
And just like number 5, of all these things I know you will live to know, your favorite's going to be number 5 because I think you really excel in it. You encourage people to do it. Number 5, how to manage all these emotions. Focus on gratitude and reflection. I'll read this. Shift the focus. See, this is an activity that happens in our minds and our thought patterns. Instead of stressing over what you think you should be doing, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. Practicing gratitude can shift your mindset from guilt to appreciation for the people and the experiences that bring you joy, and celebrate those small wins. Creating a simple meal, enjoying a cozy evening, listening to a great music on YouTube.
Yeah. Don't be a Grinch. So a couple of things pop up in my mind on that. I've got a friend who's going to visit someone who doesn't really celebrate Christmas and never has. And so they're like, listen, these kids are coming. We're going to get a dang Christmas tree. Yeah. And so they bought this miniature tree. Well, then the person gets it and they're like, this thing looks ridiculous. Fine, I'll go get a bigger tree. Yeah. But gosh, I just don't, why do I have to do all this, So my thing is like, guys, instead of looking at, this activity as being stressful or hard, delegate. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get the tree.
Yeah.
I don't want to decorate it though, so let the kids do it. They're gonna love it, right?
Yeah.
Or oh, you want Christmas lights? Okay, let's do. That doesn't have to fall on you, right? It's like I don't have time to do it.
Exactly.
Well, let's get someone else to help out.
Yep.
And at least you get the chance to do it.
Yes.
And you're at least with the people who want to do it, right?
Wonderful. Well said.
There's always someone out there who, you're in a lot better situation then. So just be appreciative.
Let's do a little recap, okay? Let's do a recap. Here it comes. Holiday guilt around Christmas time can be so painful. Holiday guilt around Christmas time can be so painful. Here are 5 action steps for you and I to take. Number 1, set realistic expectations for yourself. Be aware of that perfectionism streak that is inside all of us, especially around Christmas time. Be kind to yourself. Number 2, create a budget and stick to it. Number 3, learn to say no gracefully and lovingly to family members, to in-laws, to your own parents, to the PTA, to the school, to this, to that, to that party, to this part. Number 4, set self-compassion and be kind to yourself. Be gentle. Focus on the present. And remember the reason for this season. Focus on gratitude, reflection, your own spirituality, thankfulness, family, all that good stuff.
That's great. Fantastic. I know it's hard. Some of this can be difficult. But it's just, again, slow down. If you wrote all that down, like we get 24 hours in a day, right? You don't have to rush through everything. That's one of the reasons why I'm a big proponent of like putting up the decorations before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Like this year specifically, we had such a short window because Thanksgiving was so late in November and we only had a couple of weeks. So if you waited, you're just like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. There is enough time for everybody to do the things you want. You just gotta slow down.
I'm grateful that this year I'm not going to be putting up Christmas lights on the outside of my house because it's just going to stress me out.
Yeah, dude.
It's just going to stress me out. I can't. I got other things going on. I'm grateful for my children, and I'm grateful for you that we get to just come together to inspire parents from all around the world once a week.
Yeah, man. I'm so grateful that I get to, even though I live, like I said, first to live on the east of the Mississippi, all my parents, want to come see me. Right? They're going to come out to Georgia and celebrate, right? Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm so grateful that they're going to take the time to do that, and it's going to be great. And, I'll miss my sister, but I'm going to get to see her in February and January, and so I'm so excited to get to spend time with some of my family.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, everyone.